What is the Kardashev scale? The Kardashev scale provides a roadmap for exploring the depths of the universe and understanding the evolution of civilizations. I am very excited to blog about this topic right now because it is extremely interesting to come across such a comprehensive concept about where we stand as humanity and where we can go in the future. But is the Kardashev scale only of interest to science fiction enthusiasts? Of course not. This scale provides a scientific framework that impresses everyone who dreams of going beyond our planet and exploring the galaxies. Let's explore this fascinating scale that evaluates how advanced a civilization is based on its energy use and see where we rank as humanity. The Kardashev scale is a system that ranks civilizations according to their energy consumption capacity. Proposed by Russian astrophysicist Nikolai Kardashev in 1964, the scale measures a civilization's technological advancement in terms of its ability to use and utilize energy. The basic idea is that the more energy a civilization can control, the more advanced it is. The Kardashev scale encourages us to think about the future of humanity and its potential to reach higher levels of civilization by emphasizing the relationship between energy consumption and technological advancement. There are three main classes on a typical Kardashev scale: Type 1, 2, and 3 civilizations. Humanity is currently not a Type 1 civilization on the Kardashev scale, but is estimated to be around 0.72. This reflects our increasing ability to harness and use a variety of energy sources. However, we still rely heavily on fossil fuels and have not yet fully optimized our use of renewable energy. Our technological advances in areas such as solar and wind energy are promising. Nuclear fusion research and space exploration initiatives suggest that we are on our way to achieving Type 1 status. However, we still face significant challenges related to resource management, climate change, and global cooperation that must be addressed to fully realize our potential as a planetary civilization. Now let's get into the details of the civilization levels on this scale. As I mentioned before, there are normally 3 main civilization levels, but let's expand this a little bit and go up to level 7. Without losing any speed, let's start with Type 0 civilization. A Type 0 civilization relies primarily on non-renewable energy sources such as fossil fuels and only uses renewable resources such as hydroelectric power to a limited extent. This type covers a wide range of social development from primitive lifeforms to modern human societies, with subcategories indicating different levels of technological advancement. For example, a civilization classified as Type 0.1 would be at a very primitive stage using basic tools for survival, while a Type 0.7 civilization represents modern humans who have begun to explore sustainable energy solutions in space exploration. A Type 1 civilization on the Kardashev scale is a civilization that has gained complete control over its planet's energy resources. This means that it can use all the energy it can get from sources like solar, wind, geothermal, and nuclear energy to meet its needs. A Type 1 civilization may also have the technology to control and manage the planet's weather. Reaching the level of a Type 1 civilization requires a high level of global cooperation, the foundation of which our civilization has already laid through the Internet. This intercontinental communication network allows information to be shared widely and accelerates technological advancement on a global scale. However, the transition to a Type 1 civilization carries significant risks. From an environmental perspective, the rapid industrialization required could worsen climate change if not managed carefully. Furthermore, if we do not balance our consumption, we could be running out of resources on Earth. In addition, the competition for control of these resources could lead to geopolitical tensions. The development of nuclear fusion risks catastrophe if not managed properly, and another danger is that with technological advances, weapons of mass destruction will become easier to develop. This creates a need for interplanetary diversity if the human race is to survive at a Type 1 level of civilization. Abundant energy will likely become either very cheap or completely free, accessible to everyone. The environment will benefit from reduced pollution thanks to the heavy reliance on renewable energy sources. Cities will become smart and efficient, with automated systems managing everything from traffic to energy use. Communication will become instantaneous and seamless across the globe. Space exploration will also likely expand significantly, with technologies such as solar power plants in space expanding our access to energy beyond Earth. Philip Meir, a planetary scientist and co-founder of the Planetary Resources Program, predicts that nuclear and renewable energy alone will not be enough to power the Earth as coal and oil run out. Mir suggests that humanity should embark on a 100-year project to develop space mining operations and spacecraft in space, such as asteroids or the Moon, to bring back the necessary materials to Earth. However, before we can harvest the resources in space, one of the few solutions we have is to develop and safely use nuclear fusion, which offers almost unlimited clean energy. A Type 2 or solar civilization on the Kardashev scale is one that has the ability to harness and manage the entire energy output of a star. This is a necessity that stems from the fact that relying on the energy naturally available to their planet and its natural resources will not be enough to support advances in technology and science. One of the most famous concepts for achieving a Type 2 civilization is the Dyson sphere, proposed by theoretical physicist Freeman Dyson in 1960. This hypothetical megastructure is built around a star and aims to capture its entire energy output. Although designed as a solid shell according to popular science fiction, a more practical approach would probably be a Dyson swarm of solar energy harvesting satellites orbiting the star. With this energy, a Type 2 civilization could support massive industrial projects, feed extremely large populations, and begin large-scale space colonization across solar systems. In such a civilization, daily life would be completely transformed. For example, interplanetary travel could become routine. As air travel has become routine for us, this could enable humans to live on different planets or in giant space habitats. Humans could live in rotating space habitats called O'Neill cylinders, which could create Earth-like environments that could house millions of people. They could also use theoretical stellar manipulation, called stellar engineering, to optimize the orbits of planets for human use, engage in large-scale asteroid mining, or extract resources from gas giants. Another interesting possibility is that Type 2 civilizations could create artificial stars or smaller controlled fusion reactors that mimic the processes of their stars, thus extracting more energy. A Type 3 or galactic civilization on the Kardashev scale is a civilization that can control and use the energy output of an entire galaxy. This type of civilization can harness the energy of billions of stars, or even extract energy from black holes or other cosmic phenomena to meet its industrial needs. One of the key concepts associated with a Type 3 civilization is galactic scale engineering. This is a theoretical concept that involves building megastructures or manipulating star systems throughout an entire galaxy. This could involve creating massive structures such as Dyson spheres around multiple stars or entire star systems. The civilization could also build stellar engines that can alter the motion of stars or alter their energy output. With this immense energy, a Type 3 civilization could power technologies that are beyond our imagination, such as wormholes for superluminal travel or planet-sized computers that can simulate entire universes. Additionally, a Type 3 civilization could harness the rotational energy of black holes through a process known as the Penrose process. This theoretical method allows an object to be sent into the ergosphere of a black hole, splitting the energy and capturing some of it. They can also use Hawking radiation, the theoretical radiation emitted by black holes as they evaporate over time due to quantum effects, as an energy source. Another interesting concept related to a Type 3 civilization is the Matryoshka brain. This is a theoretical megastructure consisting of multiple layers of Dyson spheres around a star. Each layer uses the star's energy to power large computational systems, so the star could be transformed into a galaxy-wide supercomputer. This represents a powerful combination of galactic-scale engineering and technology. In such a civilization, intergalactic travel could become commonplace, just as interplanetary travel became commonplace for a Type 2 civilization. People could live in giant space stations or Dyson shells around different stars, or even artificial worlds simulating any environment they wanted. Since resources would be virtually limitless, the civilization could undertake galaxy-wide projects, rebuilding entire solar systems or terraforming planets in the galaxy. Post-biological life could also emerge, where consciousness could be transferred into machines or digital environments, allowing individuals to exist in various forms or to spread their consciousness throughout the galaxy. A Type 4 or universal civilization on the Kardashev scale is a civilization that can control and dominate the energy of the entire universe. This means that they can not only harness the energy of galaxies but also the fundamental forces of the universe, such as dark matter and dark energy. Such a civilization could manipulate cosmic events on an unprecedented scale, controlling black holes, supernovas, and even altering the structure of spacetime. An intriguing concept is engineering on a universal scale. This civilization could create and destroy galaxies, build megastructures spanning multiple star systems, or even design artificial universes. They could spread throughout the universe, harvest resources, and convert them into energy or infrastructure using self-replicating machines known as von Neumann probes. Another theory is that a Type 4 civilization could gain quantum control over the universe, meaning they could manipulate the quantum fields that form the basis of reality. This could allow them to change the laws of physics, create stable wormholes for instantaneous travel across the universe, or access other dimensions. They could use exotic energy sources, such as black hole evaporation or the vast energy stored in the cosmic microwave background radiation. A Type 4 civilization could also revolutionize cosmic scale communication. Instead of radio waves or light, they could use gravitational waves or neutrinos to send messages across the universe, or they could communicate instantly over vast distances through quantum entanglement. According to some theories, a Type 4 civilization could attempt to reverse entropy, counteracting the universe's natural tendency to drift into chaos and preserve structures and systems indefinitely. With these vast energy sources, they could achieve immortality for their own creations or for themselves. In terms of their mode of existence, a Type 4 civilization could transcend physical forms. They could exist as pure energy or information, and move freely through space and time. Their consciousness could span galaxies, existing in many places or dimensions at once. This civilization can simulate entire realities, explore different possibilities of existence, or create new life forms. A Type 5 or multiverse civilization on the Kardashev scale is a civilization that has the ability to control and dominate energy on a scale beyond the universe, affecting multiple universes or dimensions. A civilization at this level can manipulate not only the laws of physics, but also the fundamental structure of reality. For a Type 5 civilization, white holes are an extraordinary opportunity for cosmic scale manipulation. Theoretically, unlike black holes, these objects, which expel matter and energy rather than consume them, could be used to generate enormous amounts of energy or create new cosmic structures. A Type 5 civilization could use white holes to continuously feed matter into their universe, contributing to the creation of new galaxies or the large-scale replenishment of resources. In addition, if white holes are thought to be connected to black holes by wormholes, these holes could serve as a gateway for matter and energy to travel between different universe regions or multiverses. Another interesting concept associated with a Type 5 civilization is multiverse engineering. This civilization may have the ability to create, manipulate, or travel between multiple universes with different physical laws or constants. This may include creating bubble universes, each with their own unique properties and rules. The idea of manipulating quantum reality is also interesting. A Type 5 civilization could control quantum fields and dimensions to such an extent that they could alter or create entire realities. They could develop cosmic algorithms that reshape the fundamental nature of time and space or create new universes. Hyperdimensional travel may also be possible. This civilization could move between different dimensions or planes of existence beyond three-dimensional space and time. This would allow them to explore or exploit realms of existence that are completely outside our current understanding. In addition, a Type 5 civilization could use energy sources beyond the boundaries of the universe we know, such as cosmic strings, or remnants of the Big Bang. This civilization could also develop technologies that would affect the fundamental constants of nature, such as the speed of light or gravity, thus completely controlling the fabric of reality. This level of advancement would mean that a Type 5 civilization would have almost unlimited creative power. They could not only shape their own universes, but could also create or control multiple universes or dimensions. This is a form of existence that encompasses everything, exists between multiple universes, and can control all possibilities. To my readers who have watched Lucy, the scene where Lucy reaches 100% of her brain capacity and says "I am everywhere" could be a reference to this level of civilization, that is, the existence of a multiverse. A Type 6 or multidimensional civilization on the Kardashev scale would have the power to control and manipulate multiple universes beyond a single universe. An interesting concept, multiverse synthesis, states that this civilization can create and combine multiple universes to create complex realities with brand new physical laws and constants. This may involve constructing different cosmic structures and experimenting with fundamental forces to observe or use various forms of existence. A Type 6 civilization can also create a cosmic web by harmonizing the physical laws and constants between multiple universes. This cosmic harmonization process means the ability to fine-tune the interactions between different universes to synchronize large-scale events or precisely control events at the multiverse level. Another fascinating theory is cosmic resurrection. This civilization can use the energies left over from collapsed or destroyed universes to revive or evolve universes that have ceased to exist. In this way, they can reshape dead or dying universes and give them new forms. A Type 6 civilization can also manipulate time on a multiverse scale, controlling or changing the flow of time in different universes. They can create time loops, synchronize events between universes, or construct new time dimensions that are independent of traditional time laws. In addition, they can develop trans-universal communication methods that are capable of transmitting information or creating effects in multiple universes simultaneously. This could include using quantum entanglement in the multiverse or inventing entirely new forms of communication that transcend the traditional boundaries of spacetime. A Type 7 civilization on the Kardashev scale represents a level of development where the distinction between civilization and existence has completely disappeared. At this stage, the civilization's control and influence extends beyond all universes and multiverses, encompassing the nature of reality and existence itself. The transition from Type 6 to Type 7 is often seen as impossible or pointless, because Type 7 is not simply a civilization that manipulates multiple realities, but rather the very structure of existence itself. A Type 7 civilization is not only the master of all universes and multiverses, but also the embodiment of the principles and forces that underlie existence. This civilization does not operate within or above one reality, but is part of the fundamental reality that defines and creates all possible forms of existence. Therefore, a Type 7 civilization is defined by its nature, not by its technology or methods. It transcends all material and spiritual concepts, representing a form of existence beyond human understanding. For this reason, it becomes meaningless to speak of a development beyond Type 7. Because this civilization becomes synonymous with existence itself, and the concept of further progress or transformation no longer holds true.